This is The Cremation of Sam McGee by Robert Service. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that admit your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. And he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talky or cold, through the parka fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, then the lashes froze, till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. That very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing in heel and toe. Sam turns to me and "Gap," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I ask that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. And he said in a kind of moan, "It's this cursed cold, and it's got right hold till it's chilled me through to the bone. Yet it ain't being dead, but my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Well, pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. We started on at the break of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. Before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may test your brawn and brains, but you promised true, so it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart, how I'd curse that load. In the long, long night, by the pale firelight, while the huskies, round in a ring, howl out their woes to the homeless snows, by God, how I loathe that thing. And every day, that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. But on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. Well, I looked at it, and I thought for a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames, they soared, and the furnace roared. Such a blaze do you seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, because I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. The heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and a wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but a hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And a greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I don't know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was filled with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, so it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. Well, there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the fire's roar. And he wore a smile, you could see a mile. And he said, please, close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam McGee.